Sup nerds, I'm Tom. This is a tile placement game. I don't really love tile placement games, but it does have polyominoes, so I do really like polyominoes, so... This game actually went up on Kickstarter. We did a Kickstarter preview video for it. I wasn't in that Kickstarter preview video, but I did get to play this game back when it was in prototype form at Gen Con 2019. And how this game works is you're going to have a hand of cards and you're going to pick two cards and place them face down. Well, I guess you're going to pick one and then you're going to pick the other, but like everybody picks one card. After we've all picked, we then flip our hand up, flip the card up, and there's an initiative value on the card, which says who's the turn order, basically, starting from lowest to highest. And then when you go to activate the card, you're going to choose whether you're going to collect resources or whether you're going to build, which is when you spend resources to buy these polyominoes to then place on your board. You're trying to cover up certain colors on your board. Your first tile can go anywhere, but then every other tile needs to spread out from there. The cards also have special abilities, so it's not just, initiative value and like collection, because the cards have different values on there for collecting. It's not just the initiative value and the collection value on the cards. They also have special abilities to trigger, so you may be thinking a lot about which card you want to play first because, this one will let me get extra blues and then I'll be able to afford this tile later and, stuff like that. After you pick two cards and you reveal two cards and you activate two cards, then those cards get passed to the player to your left. So it's not really, it's kind of like drafting, but you're handing those cards off to other players. And now the way this game was taught to me was we got dealt out the cards. It was just taught, okay, pick a card, put it face down. You can decide whether you're going to collect resources or you're going to build with it. And now that you've picked both of those cards, now we're going to pass them to the left. And at first we were like, what? If I had known that I was going to pass them over to him, I would have picked a different card. But the thing is, the answer is really not really. Because those cards are going to get passed every single time, you're not going to forego playing a good card on your turn because you don't want to pass it to the other player. Not really. That's kind of something you think about, but not all that much. Which means that when I teach this game to new players, I actually teach it that way a lot too. I'll be like, okay, we pick this card, then we pick that card, cool. And then after we pick them up, I'm like, wait, and now we pass them. And they're like, what? And some people get kind of mad. They're like, what? You should have told me that beforehand. I'm like, not really. I'd rather see that look on your face if you'd be like, what? Than me actually teach you the whole game. Some of you may be mad about that. But I think it's a fun and clever way to kind of mix it up halfway through the game. Especially because, again, really, it's very rare that you are going to forego playing a good card on your turn because you don't want to pass it to another player. For me, it feels like you are hurting yourself more than you're hurting another player. Those cards are going to get passed around anyways. They're going to keep, if you have a really good combo, okay, play that really good combo, then they'll play that really good combo, then they'll play that really good combo, then you'll get that really good combo back. I think it's an interesting part to keep cards cycling through, so I'm not playing with the same hand over and over and over again. But you don't think too much about, I don't want to play this card because I don't want to give it off to them, because all your cards are going to go off to them. So if you hold it back, it feels like you're just hurting yourself. But I really do like this game because it's so simple and because all you do is you just pick two cards. Now, there can be a little bit of an analysis paralysis if I want to play this card first and then that card, but this is a 16, so I'm probably going to go last, so I won't be able to get the resources. They're probably going to take all the blue and then I won't have blue to be able to build this tile, because you also have endgame scoring cards that give you extra bonus points for having certain types of tiles. You'll get a bonus 15 for having one of each type of tile. And depending if you're playing on the basic game or the advanced game, there's an advanced game where in the basic game, there's dirt on the board that it doesn't matter if you cover it up. It's nothing. Because the most points you get is by covering up as much of the red and blue and whatnot on your board as you can. But the dirt doesn't mean anything. On the advanced version, the dirt is, you don't want to cover it up. The more you want to have more dirt showing. So you're trying to cover up just the blue and red and the other colors, but leave the dirt available. But also with the advanced version, there are cards that have two different abilities based on whether you play it first or second. You kind of have a day ability and a night ability. So if this is the first card I pick in this round, I'll get this ability. If I pick this card as my second card, I'll get the night ability. And that's fine. I liked it. But it almost felt like an unnecessary AP aspect to it, where I'm like, it didn't really add that much to say that I will play that variant again, But it's not like, oh, if you play the basic game, that's the watered down version. You really want to, you know, bump it up to the advanced version. Sure, play the basic game to learn the game, but then you want to kick it up a notch. It's like, no, it's like that extra thing is like cool and different, I guess. But the abilities aren't so wild and crazy that it really matters. And especially there's a lot of times when I'm like, well, I guess I'm playing this card as the second card because I really need to play it in this order. Then the Knight ability is going to trigger this extra thing, which I'm actually not really even going to be able to trigger because I'm going to collect anyways. You know, it's just not something I think about that much. The component quality of this game is also really, really dope. Obviously, the tiles and everything are pretty nice, but these resources are the coolest thing. These 3D, these like soft plastic things, they all look different. The art is pretty good, but also these player boards are, I don't know what type of material this is. Here, let me, can you hear this? These player boards are also different. Both the advanced side and the basic side look different, but like each player board, the orientation and the placement of the rocks are slightly different. So, I mean, there's just a lot of good in this game. It's very light and quick. But there's a 2-player variant also. So there's a solo variant, a 2-player variant, a regular version, an advanced version, and then a couple other small variants where, like, instead of picking the first card and revealing and then picking the second card and revealing, we just pick both cards at the same time and then reveal them or whatever. But the 2-player variant, I actually haven't played it, but Wes has played it. It involves this little card swappy thing so that the draft is a little bit different for the 2 players. But Wes had said that while this definitely isn't a 2-player game. It's definitely better with 3, 4, and 5. But he did say that the 2 players like worked. Like it's not a what did I play recently? The Marvel Love Letter game was like, no, definitely don't play the 2-player variant. But in here, at least going by Wes's word, he said that the 2 players at least worked. But seriously, guys, I really enjoy this game. I think it's not getting enough buzz. I think more people should be talking about it. More people should be playing it. It's thinky, it's quick, it's easy to teach. You know, I don't really love tile placement games, but the polyomino puzzliness of it makes it really fun. And the fact that it's more than just placing tiles. You have the cards and the initiative value and gaining resources and stuff. I don't know. I have a lot of fun with it. I haven't done the solo variant either. I just generally don't really play solo games, but I like that it's there. So you all have that option. 1 to 5 players. Hey, look at that versatility. But boom. I'm going to put a purchase game to this game in the description box down below. I highly recommend you guys pick up a copy. Also down there is going to be a link for Game Toppers, which is this tabletop I'm playing on right here. Ooh, super awesome. Also, while you're down there, subscribe to our channel so you'll never be bored. Sup nerds, I'm Tom. We're going to talk about a game with polyominoes, which is one of my favorite types of tiles to place in a tile placement game. These 2 cards. Take the 2 cards. Pass them.
No.
Pass them. Yep.
You didn't tell me that before, man.
That's how the game was taught to me.
You